If you're going to have a good marriage and if you're going to have good kids, you have to put parameters on them, and you have to teach them to respect your marriage. If you don't teach your children to respect your marriage, you won't have a marriage. Your children, and I say this jokingly in my conferences, and that is, children are very simple little creatures. There's just one thing they want. They want to possess your soul. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. They want unhindered access to you. And let me say, little children are selfish. They don't care if you're worn out every night when you go to bed and don't have time to even look at your spouse. They don't care if they consume all the oxygen in your world and there's nothing left for anybody else. They're just selfish little kids. And so one of the things that you have to do is train them to respect your marriage. When our kids were little, and even as they grew up bigger, when they were little, we'd put them to bed about 8 or 8:30 at night. And we taught our kids, now this is our time. Now we've been with you, we've loved you, we've taken care of you. Now you stay in bed. This is mom and dad's time. As they got older and they put themselves to bed, they knew that at a certain time of the evening, this is mom and dad's time. We took regular trips. Now we didn't have much money, but we would go 30 miles and stay in a motel for a day or two because that was our time. And we trained our children, okay, you're gonna go stay with your grandparents or whoever, but we're gonna have our time. We trained our children, listen, first of all, how are your children gonna have a good marriage if you don't show them how? If you lay your marriage on the altar of your children, you're going to destroy your marriage and you're mistraining your children. How are your children going to have a good marriage later on if you don't show them a good marriage? And the only way you're going to be able to show them a good marriage is put parameters on them and teach them to respect your marriage. See, God is first, our marriage is second, kids are third. Your kids are going to leave home one day. And when they leave home one day, first of all, what kind of marriage are you going to be left with? Okay. Number two is, what kind of marriage are they going to have? Because you're their most powerful role model, whether you realize it or not. Our children, and I'm not saying this to brag, I'm saying it because it's true. Our children are both in their 40s, both have kids. They both have fantastic marriages and fantastic kids, and they do with their children what we did with them. They teach them to respect their marriage. Sometimes you see these super dads or these super moms. My daughter calls them helicopter moms. They're always hovering over their children. That is extremely unhealthy. It teaches your children to be narcissistic, that they're the center of the universe and it's all about them. And I'm just telling you, it isn't all about them. When they leave home one day, it's going to be a rude awakening to find out that there's a harsh world out there and it's not all about them. But secondly, it wears you out. You have to keep enough energy to love your spouse. And so I'm saying your children are precious. They're precious, 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 but they're selfish and they'll wear you out if you let them. You've got to put parameters on your kids if you're going to have a good marriage.